Hi my design buddies, today we're going to be learning how to make good designs using blending options on our text tools in Adobe Photoshop. So let's grab a spoon and dive in right now. So like every good design, it starts with opening Photoshop and creating a new document. So we're going to create a 1000 by 1000 document and leave our resolution at that, and we name it tut for text. Cool. We'll press enter and we have our document. So as our ritual, we remove this padlock here and we start making what we want to make. So to start this effect, we're going to go to our background layer and let's say we'll place a black or a grayish color on it. That's a command I just pressed. Now when you put that up in your document, we could spice it up a bit and go to these are blending options we're going to be working with, and we'll go to our gradient overlay and we make a gradient that runs from black to a kind of darker gray to make everything look good. When we get that, we press OK. We press OK here. Then we increase the scale a bit because right now it looks without the scale, it looks like it's staying in just this bottom area right here. So we increase that so it gets better. So it spreads a bit. Now we make it radial so it starts from the center and goes up to the other area. Now we increase the opacity so we could see what we're doing very well. And we go over down to our radial settings and we reverse it. So it starts from the top and it starts from the outer edges, darker in the outer edges, and then the inside looks kind of brighter. Now we take this to the center right here to make it look centered so our text is facing there. Now we start with our text tool, which I brought out using just pressing T on my keyboard, but you could get that from your tools panel here. Or when you bring out the text tool, you go to our empty layer and you press and start typing. So we'll type a text and let's type a number, let's say 9. This is a font we're using, Blockling. We could increase the size over to let's say 253, thereabouts. And if we wanted to make it better, we could increase this to let's just make it 254. Now put it at the center. How to make it centered? We'll highlight this right here, bring this. Okay, right now it's at the center. That's cool. To remove that selection, I use Ctrl D. That's beautiful. So we go over and we highlight the text and give it a color. So we're going to choose this bright yellow looking right here, or we could say FFCB 65 thereabouts and make it like this. Now that looks beautiful. Now we could go down and make it look cooler by going to our blending option. Now Photoshop provides something really sumptuous for us. Now if we want to go down and make add effects to our text like drop shadows and stuff like that, stroke, we could find all of them by going to our text layer right here, right clicking, and then going to blending options. When we click on that and we'll open it, it shows us a whole lot of blending options. Photoshop, you want to kill us with all this. Now with these blending options, we could do a lot. We could bevel, we could stroke, we could add inner shadows, inner glow, satin, color overlay, gradient overlay, pattern. We could do a lot. So for this particular effect, we're going to just be using a few of them, which is more actually. So we're going to start with our stroke. Now we're going to stroke this using a 2-point stroke, and we're going to make sure the color remains the same color we chose. Now since we're doing 2 points and we're using this color, we're not going to know how it looks here, but we could find out how it looks from our preview. If we turn off our preview, we're not going to see it on our work over here. So we're going to make sure this preview is always turned on. If it's not turned on in your own, please turn it on, and we could see how it's going to look. This is our text here, and this is the stroke we just applied. So on that stroke, we're going to add our pattern overlay, which we get from our pattern overlay here, and we're going to make sure now default selected, it's already selecting the dots I chose. So from here you could choose the dots to be overlay, you could choose the dots to dissolve, any of these options right here that could make your work blend better. But we're going to choose this one right here, choose overlay, make the opacity 100, and go down to this pattern. Now if you notice, when I choose this, it turns to lines. If I choose this, it turns to like this. Each of them have their own look, so you could explore this if you want, but for this tutorial we're going to be working with this. Now when we choose this, we go down and we make sure the scale is about let's make sure the scale is about 149, and it looks cool to us. Now if you look very well, you could see our stroke we just did, our 1% stroke all around it, which is looking very beautiful. Now we could also go to next option and make sure, now we press OK first. We'll transform this text so it looks a bit funky, so Control T to transform, and then we go over and then we right click on it, we go to skew, and we skew it by, let's say, 9 degrees or -8 degrees. So we'll type that in here and we'll press enter, and it goes in immediately, and it looks kind of funkier. It looks tilted to a different angle. Now we could go back to our blending options and go increase the, let's add up inner shadows. So we'll click on inner shadows, go into inner shadows, then we'll go over to our opacity, make sure it's about like this, so it looks like the text goes inside, like it's beveled or it's chiseled or it's something inside this particular black layer right here. We could increase the distance of that particular effect and the size of it to go like this. Now if we reduce the size to 0, look how it looks. We don't want that. Now we increase this to thereabouts, and I think that's okay for us for now. What else we're going to do? We could do anything else. We could go to satin, but we're not going to use that right now. We'll just go to our outer glow and try and put up a kind of outer glow to it. Outer glow is going to shine out, so we'll put up outer glow. We could go here. Now multiply means it's actually multiplying on this black background right here. Notice if we put it up to normal, it doesn't have any change. But it has a change actually. You're not going to notice that here in this document, but good for you. Now the distance actually shows the distance from the text over right here, so we could increase that distance of, okay, we're touching the inner shadow right now, we don't want that, so we'll go to our outer glow. Yes, this is what I was talking about. Now if we go to multiply, notice it is multiplying around this particular area. But if we go to normal, it stays normal, so we could increase the opacity or we could reduce it. We don't want it like this, we want it to look in between, somewhere in between, so we increase the spread thereabouts and increase the size and reduce the opacity, so it looks just like it shines a bit. It shines just a bit. Now if you notice something, each of these have their own effect. Now if I put it like this, you see what it looks like. These are different kinds of curves. These are different kinds of curves you could achieve from working with this. Now it's like a graph. You could edit the graph even here. You could make your own graph. You could do it like this. You could add points to it, add points over here, and make it kind of like an S curve. Not like an S curve, a W curve. Now a W curve kind of shines out in a W format, in a W look. Now you could get something like this if you want something custom, and you can go and you could save it as a new preset and you give it a name W. That's nonsense. Now press OK to that, and we go over to pressing OK to that also. Now you could even increase the range of that and make it not too much. just thereabouts if we want it to look this way. And notice how beautiful it's looking already. Now we could do that, and we could also go to drop shadow, and we could add something to make it look like it's popping out of this particular surface. So we'll go over to drop shadow, and we'll click on drop shadow, and we'll go down and we choose a color. Now notice if I choose, notice the blending mode is in normal and the angle looks like this. Now watch, when I pull red, now let's save up this color because I think this color looks cool, but I just copied that. Now if we make this like this, or we put it kind of like teal down to it, it looks this way. Put a bit of teal and it looks like this, and it looks beautiful this way. We could increase. Now notice if we change the angle from whatever it is to this direction, it goes this way. We change the angle like this, it goes this way. So we'll put that angle up to 168 thereabouts, and we go to the distance. If we increase the distance, see what it looks like. Yeah, if we increase the size, it starts turning into a kind of like a halo, but we want it to be thick for this particular tutorial, so we'll go this way. And you could also do the same contour curves to this, even if the effect hardly shows, but it works. Now we could choose our newly made W, but we don't want that, so we'll go with this to look normal. Then we could also go with, each of these has its own effect. Now if you choose use global light, it chooses the light that's working, because this works like a light. That's a whole lot of explanation. I'm not going to explain that. It's going to come in future workings with our blending tools, because this is a series for you. Now when we've got this, we could choose a color that suits us better. Let's say we want to move with our theme. We'll move with our yellowy kind of theme, and okay, we like this, so we'll keep this way. Okay, now if somewhere in between you want to change the color of your stuff, you go over and click a color overlay, and you just get a color overlay. Simple, very simple. Now you could choose red if you want. Oh, look how neat, it's looking so neat. We don't want that, we don't want this, we don't want this, so we just take this off for now. Now that's it. So you get a simple effect looking good as you want it. Now if you wanted to change this up to something, now this is an effect already on its own. So if you didn't want to write 9, or you wanted to write something else, you just go over, pick your text tool here, you go over and you change it to go, and you have go right there. Go is written for you and it's looking beautiful. If you didn't want to write go, or you wanted to write come, you write come over, and you could even go and reduce the size of your come. And oh, look how beautiful it's looking. Now you could also go over and write yes, or you could write Japanese and be like san, Sumada-san, David-san, or Fiare-san. That's the way they say it in Japanese. Or you could write Nihon, Nihongo ga wakarimasu ka? That's something. That's Nihon. Okay, let's make this a tribute to Japan and be like Japan. But Japan is all lights and stuff, so it's really not Japan. Let's just keep this out this way. Now you could also go down and be like, let's say we want to crop this and increase the size of our document. We could do this, and we'll press OK, and we'll go over and we increase this, and we have Japan. Oh, looking so nice. So that's all, guys. I'm going to be showing you all new ones in my new series coming up. This is going to be playing with blending tools, and it's going to show you how to do beautiful things with your text. So hang on, guys, I'm going to be giving you great things. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, like, and share everywhere. Thank you.